Hi, my name is Simon and I am part of the R&D department of Ergon, and I'd like to show you how to wrap our new BT gravel, allroad and road bar tapes. For this you need some tools and I have them here. You need some acetone or nail polish remover and some paper towels. To protect your hands and fingers, some safety gloves, a scissor or a plier to cut your handlebar tape, and last but not least, some electrical tape. When the old handlebar tape is removed and the rubber hood of the shifters are folded, you can properly clean the handlebar, but don't forget to put on the gloves. When you finish cleaning of your handlebar, you can check that the handlebar is centered in your stem and that the rotation of the handlebar is nearly to 0 degrees. The next step is the alignment of the levers in terms of height and rotation. When you need some further information, use our fitting box to get some special ergonomic advices. Next, we will use our electrical tape as a marker to mark the end of the handlebar tape on the handlebar. For this, you will stick a piece of tape to one side, measure the distance to the stem and do the same on the other side. Most of the handlebars offer a special form to show you where your handlebar tape should end. If you're interested in some extra comfort and extra damping, I recommend to use our BT OrthoCell Pad Set. To mount them, we'll start with the base bar pad. You can align it to the corner of the base bar and then cut the inner end to your preferred length. For cutting them, you'll find the marks on the pad. Then we continue with the drop bar pad, align it to the end of the handlebar and press it on properly. We have a left and a right side handlebar tape. Here we start with the right side, so we use the right handlebar tape. Before we wrap our handlebar tape, we cut off a piece for the levers. It can be like 8 to 10 centimeters long. When sticking this piece to your levers, make sure that the holes remain free. Before we start wrapping our handlebar tape, we need to determine whether you want to use more grip or less grip. For more grip, just grab the handlebar as it comes from the package. For less grip, grab the inside end of the bar tape and follow on with the wrapping instructions I will give you right now. Now we start wrapping our handlebar tape. For this, we align the end of the bar tape to the downside of the handlebar and wrap it from the inside to the outside. The first turn has to be straight and firm. For the following turns, you can follow the 1/3 markers on the texture. When you reach the corner, increase the overlapping at the inside of your handlebar a bit more so that you can make sure that the outside of the handlebar is still covered by bar tape. If you make a mistake, it's not a big deal, you can easily undo and correct it. When you reach your brake lever, make sure that the edge of your bar tape fits underneath your lever. Continue wrapping around the brake lever and make sure that the holes of the brake lever remain free. When you are at the corner of your base bar, make sure that the outside of your corner is still covered by bar tape. Now we arrive at the straight part of our base bar and you can again fully concentrate on the markers. With the gravel tape, you can also do a 2/3 overlapping to get a thicker grip circumference and more damping. With the road and allroad tape, you can follow on with a 1/3 overlapping. When the handlebar tape meets the mark, make a small cut, unwrap your bar tape and then cut your bar tape 90 degrees to your handlebar, rewrap it again and you'll have a nice finish. Take your finishing tape while keeping one finger on the handlebar tape. Place it on the underside of the handlebar so that you have an additional 1 mm sticking out to the side, and then with proper tension wrap the finishing tape around the handlebar tape. Then you end with the finishing tape again on the underside. Unfold the hood and make sure that the pins are properly seated in their holes again. The last step is to take your end plug, align the Ergon logo to your handlebar like this, fold the overlapping bar tape into your handlebar and press the end plug in. After finishing the right side, we continue with the left side, which is just a mirrored process of the right side. That means we start with the alignment, the cutting and the sticking of our BT OrthoCell Pad Set. Then we choose the texture of our bar tape I suggest that you use the same texture as you just use on the right side. Make sure that you grab the right end, place it or align it underneath or on the underside of your handlebar and wrap it from the inside to the outside. As on the right side, the first turn has to be straight and firm. When you wrap the straight part, you can follow the 1/3 overlap of the texture. When you come to the corner, make sure that the inside is covered a little more so that the outside is still covered by bar tape. Arriving at the brake lever, make sure that your handlebar tape sticks underneath the brake lever. Then you can continue your wrapping around the brake lever. Make sure that the holes of the brake lever remain free. When you reach the corner of your base bar, as on the drop bar, make sure that your bar tape covers your handlebar. Arriving at the straight part of your base bar, you can continue your wrapping with the 1/3 or 2/3 overlap like on the right side. When your handlebar tape meets the mark, just cut the bar tape 90 degrees to the handlebar. Then take your finishing tape while keeping one finger on the handlebar tape. Place it on the underside of the handlebars so that you have an additional of 1 mm sticking out to the side. And then, with proper tension, wrap the finishing tape around the handlebar tape. Unfold the hoods and make sure that the pins are properly seated in the holes again. Last step is that you align the end plug properly. You fold in the bar tape into your handlebar and then you press in the end plug into your handlebar. So as you can see, wrapping your bar tape is really not rocket science, and I hope you are able to wrap your own bar tape now. But much more important than this is have fun riding your bike. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.